ground tricks you can learn right now, despite what level of skating you're at. Let's get into it. It's been a while since I've made a skateboard video, huh? I've missed this. How are you guys? It's not too cold today, and the snow has dried up a little bit, so I decided to go out and skate. You guys know I always react to these videos trying different tricks from other creators, but it's about time that I've made more of my own trick lists for you guys to try out. I also have this really cool DIY project video coming up for next week, so if you're into that, make sure to check in next weekend for that video. So here are 4 easy flat ground tricks you can learn right away. Doesn't matter what level you're at, you don't even need to learn how to ollie or anything. You probably need a little bit of confidence though, because I think that goes for every trick. Trick number 1, the boneless. There are different types of variations and twists and turns that you can do with the boneless, but it's honestly a pretty cool and really fun flat ground trick that you can try out right away. It's really simple. Essentially, you want to position your feet in a way that's easy for your front foot to come off and put your back foot near the tail ready to pop it up. Take your front foot off first, pop your deck up, catch your board, and do a little hoppy, if that makes any sense. You want to pop that board high up as fast as you can. You really want to scoop your hand underneath the board to catch it like that. This trick is pretty simple and really easy to learn because you can take it in slow steps and eventually do it fast and do it comfortably and do it with style. It's very versatile. You can jump off stuff with this trick. You can jump on stuff with this trick. I'm not the best at bonelesses, but it is one of the first tricks I've learned, and it's honestly really simple and a trick that I definitely recommend you trying if you haven't already. Trick number 2, the no comply 180. This trick is kind of the beginning point for a lot of no comply tricks. It's really simple. You start off very similarly to how you start your feet off at the boneless, except you're not catching your board this time and you're scooping it into a frontside 180 direction. Foot, usually around the bolts here, easier to slide off and control. Back foot, ready, round the back of the tail, ready to scoop. It's a little awkward, but you really need to practice this step of getting your foot off. So step by step, you want to slide your foot off the board. You also want to make sure that your shoulders are turning along with your front foot and scoop your back foot in order to make a 180 turn and hop back on. If you have trouble sliding your foot off like this, try practice doing this. This movement allows you to pop at the same time so that the whole no comply is smooth, which I will explain in a little bit. You want to straighten your leg and pop at the same time. This trick, like the boneless, is also very simple because you're able to take it step by step and slowly get the hang of it. It doesn't require both your feet to be in the air at the same time, so you can really take your time nailing every step of this trick down before you actually get it in style. Now let me show you why sliding off your foot is important. See how fast it pops and how fluid the motion is. If you want to take the baby steps, it will look a little bit like this. Step off, off. That's the beginner version. You want to make sure that you're shifting all your weight on this foot, because if not, that happens. So don't put any of your weight on the back foot or else it's going to pop right away, which if you're doing this stance, you're not ready for. And then once you've mastered that, you can slide off your foot and scoop right away. I used to do this trick really slow, but over time you get used to it and you're able to hop off and on that board really quickly, and it's a great trick to put in lines, and if you're creative enough you can even get it into slides, off, and even on ledges. It introduces you to a lot of different other no comply tricks, and I find no complies super fun, like the strawberry milkshake, no comply impossible. These old videos are probably the worst examples of me doing a strawberry milkshake and a no comply impossible. I've done better, but for some reason these are the only clips that I could find. I'm deeply sorry. And others like that. If you can name a few, let me know down in the comments, we can talk about it. Number 3, it is the bean plant. The bean plant is really similar to the boneless, except this time you're using a different hand. You're going to be catching your board on the inside of the board instead of the outside this time. Same foot position as the boneless. Just step a little further back so you have some space to grab your board. You want to use a hand that correlates with your front foot to grab the inside of your board. This one's a little bit more trickier because you have to scoop nearer to your body and chances are you might hit your hand.
Bean plant, you also want to scoop your hand right underneath once it pops up. The reason for grabs why you want to scoop underneath them is because if you try and grab them from the top, you can either jam your thumb, or if you just miss entirely, you might jam all your fingers.
But it's honestly not that hard. The foot position's easily the same, it's just slightly different how you hold it. Like the boneless and the no comply, you can take your time learning step by step. Personally, I think the bean plant is slightly harder than boneless just because it's more of an awkward hold, but it's also very simple to get the hang of.
For this trick, as well as the boneless, it really does help if you bend down a little bit, just so it's easier for you to grab the board and it's easier for you to pop up higher.
And last of all, trick number 4. This one requires a little bit of commitment and might be the more scarier one of each. If you've gone through all these tricks, you'll be able to do this trick pretty easily. It is the caveman. The caveman is essentially when you pop your board up, grab your deck, you can do any sorts of twists and variations with your hands and hop back on your board.
By the way, there's 2 ways that you can get off your board for a caveman. You can either go 1 foot at a time like a boneless, or you can ollie up, jump off, and catch the nose at the same time. Of course, ollieing and catching the board is way cleaner, so that's what I prefer to do. But if you're not comfortable with that, do 1 foot off at a time and just pop the board into your hand. Your feet are in the air at the same time and touching the floor at the same time. You really have to work in that timing of jumping off the board, grabbing the board, and jumping back on the board. I figured out that the key to this trick is really how you hold the board and how you scoop it underneath your feet. I just realized it's so much easier to do the boneless, bean plant, and the caveman if you don't wear gloves. That was throwing me off a lot. Instead of just placing it on the ground and hopping on, you really want to swing your board like a pendulum and have your feet jump on top, catch it, then land on the floor. You can eventually work up to it by practicing jumping off and catching the board, then learning how to jump back on your board. You can slowly approach that pendulum technique, continuously catching the board with your feet higher and higher from the ground until you can fully master it. Although this might not be the most versatile trick in this list, it's a pretty cool trick to throw into lines as well. It's more of a freestyle trick and you can even throw it down some stair sets, which is pretty good practice for learning how to land downstairs. But this was just a short list of tricks I thought was super easy and super fun to get into and learn right away. Make sure it's safe, of course. Go outside and try these tricks. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And if you've already tried these tricks, let me know other tricks that you can think of and what you think about this list. And hey, if I helped you and you really like this video, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, because it shows me what kind of content you guys like to watch. I also really want to hit 2K subscribers, so if you want to help me and be part of that 2K team, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button, and if you've already subscribed, make sure to ring that bell, ding that bell. Do not forget, because YouTube will notify you every single week that I upload a video. Pretty cool, eh? But that's it for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys stay safe, enjoy the rest of your week, and peace out.